Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 161. I'm John Cooney, here to talk to you about comics being released the 18th of February 2015, beginning as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Invincible number 117, A Family Adrift. Series writer Robert Kirkman told IGN about Robot's role transition.
The story evolved in the telling of it, but it was something that was planned, when I was still working out the whole Robot and Monster Girl following the Flaxons into their dimension. I knew that was going to lead to, the big storyline of them living in that dimension for thousands of years, and that would change Robot in a way that would lead to him eventually taking over the world.
Mm-hmm. And he had to make a lot of personal sacrifices.
6 years or so. It was a while.
Yeah. Wow. He made a lot of personal sacrifices to get to where he is. Are you really interested in making him a sympathetic villain?
I mean, I think he is a sympathetic villain, even though he is doing completely horrible things. But what I'm trying to do with Robot is basically he's a good guy who wants to do good, but his intelligence outweighs his compassion. And so he's a character that has compassion and completely recognizes, what's right and wrong, but he is so intelligent that wins outright. And if you think about it, a lot of compassionate things aren't necessarily the smartest things to do. Mm-hmm. And so I think he still is a good guy, and there, certainly will be some good things that happen to the world now that he is in charge. But, there's some pretty dark stuff coming.
At number 2, we've got Silk number 1. Cindy Moon exploded out of her bunker and into the Marvel Universe when we first learned that she had been bitten by that same radioactive spider in the first arc of Amazing Spider-Man. She then went on to save Peter Parker's life more than once and traverse the Spider-Verse alongside Spider-Woman. Now as Silk, Cindy is on her own in New York City, searching for her past, defining her own future, and webbing up wrongdoers along the way. Robbie Thompson, writer from TV Supernatural, fills this new ongoing series with his unique blend of antics and feels, featuring stunning covers by Eisner Award winner Dave Johnson and interiors by future superstar Stacey Lee. Series writer Robbie Thompson shared his plans for Cindy, quote, "One of the things that's most exciting about her character is that she's suddenly on this crash course of how to be a grown-up. How do you land a job or have a life? What's it like to have lost all that time?" That's what she's dealing with as Cindy Moon. Then on the Silk side, she's on a crash course of how to be a superhero. She's been dipped into a pretty massive story with Spider-Verse and the adventures she has during it with Spider-Woman. So I think she's learned a lot and had to grow up pretty fast, but she's still on that growing curve. We're going to be exploring more of it in the ongoing book. It's about her growing up and really learning how to have both a personal life and a superhero life. Close quote. At number 3, we've got Uncanny X-Men number 31. As the fallout from Axis continues, the Uncanny X-Men seem to be searching for an identity. Viewed as terrorists by some, as revolutionaries by others, as teachers by their students, if odd ones at that, but some don't see the gray. For those whose world is black and white, the wrongs will add up, and they will see red. Series writer Brian Michael Bendis recently announced his departure from Uncanny X-Men as well as all new X-Men. He told his plans for Uncanny, quote, "Issues 30 and 31 are going to solidify to readers that they have absolutely no idea what shape we're going to leave the X-Men in when we're all done with this. Already a lot has happened, and a lot is going to happen with the next couple of issues. The cliffhangers at the end of each issue are very exciting and not where I think a lot of people think we were ever going to go," close quote. He also discussed the impact from Access, which seems relevant to this issue's cover. Quote, "The Summers brothers are the most interesting thing to me. As far as writing, I have a brother, and I understand the dynamic. Your brother when you're kids and your brother when you're adults are two different things. Plus, I haven't done a lot of brother material in anything I've written, so I'm eager to dig in with these two while they find themselves at such a crossroads with themselves as individuals and with the whole franchise of the X-Men." Close quote. At number 4, we've got Legendary Star-Lord number 9, the 3rd chapter of the Black Vortex. With the schism forming within the assembled heroes, the youngest among them face the temptation of immeasurable power. Sometimes those with great power shirk their responsibility to use it for good, though, and with Knife and his new business partner looking to take back the Black Vortex, the group may have left themselves defenseless. Series writer Sam Humphries explained the relationship between Peter and Kitty plays a quote, huge role. Peter and Kitty are the nexus of the Guardians and the X-Men. In some ways, it is their relationship that brings the two teams together in the first place. If you've been reading the legendary Star-Lord, you've been seeing these threads for a long time. Peter and Kitty's relationship is the giant beating heart of the Black Vortex, but even giant hearts can get broken. Close quote. At number 5, we've got Justice League number 39. The Amazovirus concludes with haunting consequences. Series writer Jeff Johns talked about the impact of the Amazovirus on Batman. Quote, not only is it interesting to see what kind of abilities Batman might develop and how he might use it and how he might react to it, but almost as important, it's also a hint at what the true nature of the Amazovirus is. And you'll see Batman actually speculate once he develops his power, because what happens is he develops this ability and it gives him an idea that the virus might be more intelligent and might be more by design than random than Luthor's claiming. Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got She-Hulk number 12, final issue, the end of the Blue File and the end of an era. But when one door closes, another one opens, and Jen finds herself face to face with her most important case yet. At number 7, we've got Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man number 10, Miles Morales, friend or foe to Hydra. Miles confronts his family's past and his terrifying future. All this, and Miles unleashes a new spider power. At number 8, we've got Iron Fist, the Living Weapon number 9, the triumphant return of Danny Rand. No more hiding, Danny Rand comes home. The choice must be made once again, life or death. At number 9, we've got Moon Knight number 12, the climactic end of Moon Knight Arc 2. Everything comes crashing down on Mr. Knight. And at number 10, we've got Nova 27. Carnage knows Nova's secret identity, and he can't wait to share it with Sam Alexander's whole school. What's worse, Nova's helmet is still on the fritz. When's this kid gonna catch a break? Not today, when a Hulk makes an unexpected appearance. For the best of the rest from DC Comics, we've got Batgirl number 39. For months, Batgirl's been hounded by an unseen threat claiming to be the real Batgirl, and the truth of her enemy's identity will shock her to the very core. Next, we have Batman and Robin number 39. Has Damian Wayne become something more than human? And how do you control a reckless child who now has superpowers? We've also got Batman Eternal number 46. Is Batman eternal? Perhaps, but only one of the Dark Knight's foes truly knows the meaning of the word. Next, we have The Kitchen number 4 of 8. It's the day Kath, Raven, and Angie have been dreading. Their husbands are released from prison, and they're not happy with their wives' new careers. But as the girls settle into their new lives and assert their dominance over crime in Hell's Kitchen, they have to ask themselves one question. Are they willing to go to war with their own husbands? We've also got Multiversity Mastermen number 1. Superstar writer Grant Morrison joins legendary artist Jim Lee on Earth 10 for one of the most dynamic, action-packed issues of this entire world-shattering series, the Multiversity Mastermen. Imagine a world where the Nazis not only won World War II, but went on to direct world culture for the next 60 years with the help of an orphaned alien superweapon known as Overman. But hope is not lost. Rising from the ashes of oppression are the diverse band of heroes raging against the fascist regime, a band of heroes known as the Freedom Fighters. What nightmarish parallel world haunt the dreams of Overman? Who is the mysterious figure called Uncle Sam? And when the dust settles, will the actions of Phantom Lady, Black Condor, Human Bomb, Dollman, and the Ray be enough to stop Leatherwing, Blitzen, and the other heroes of Earth X? Learn all this and more in this exciting issue that acts as Chapter 7 of the critically acclaimed Multiversity storyline. Next, we have Red Hood and the Outlaws number 39. As Arsenal and the Red Hood confront their demons, Starfire is out for blood when she hunts down the person responsible for her recent addiction. But will her act of vengeance help her or destroy her? We've also got Teen Titans number 7. There's a monstrous evil lurking in the bowels of Star Labs. Can the Titans save the day before they become another experiment? And we've got Wonder Woman number 39. Wonder Woman returns to Paradise Island, and she's in for a surprise. The Amazons have chosen a new queen to lead them. The identity of this new queen will send shockwaves through the entire DC universe. Guest starring the Justice League and featuring the introduction of Diana's craziest new cast member in, well, ever. From Marvel Comics, we've got Black Widow number 15. The moment we've all been waiting for. Natasha confronts chaos. Next, we have Captain America and the Mighty Avengers number 5. Someone killed the man White Tiger hated most in the world, and now she has to bring that someone in. Meanwhile, something very, very strange is happening to Cortex Incorporated, and Luke Cage is right in the middle of it. We've also got Deathlok number 5. A search for his daughter lands Henry Hayes in the hospital. Will S.H.I.E.L.D. find him before Biotech does? Andrea's in over her head until a powerful friend comes to help. Deathlok's future is uncertain as the first arc of the hot new series draws to a close. Next we have Ms. Marvel number 12. Love is in Jersey City as Valentine's Day arrives. Kamala Khan may not be allowed to go to the dance, but Ms. Marvel is, well, sort of, by crashing it attempting to capture Asgard's most annoying trickster. Yep, it's a special Valentine's Day issue featuring Marvel's favorite charlatan, Loki. We've also got Rocket Raccoon number 8. The meanest, toughest, wittiest, and furriest guardian of the galaxy just broke out his biggest guns because it's on, or on-er, or the most on. Whatever, you get it. Join superstar Scotty Young and sensational artist Felipe Andrade in a rocket adventure that breaks all the rules, including grammar. Next we have Silver Surfer number 9. This is the moment everything changes. There is no coming back from this. Silver Surfer versus Galactus. Don't read this comic alone. You're going to need someone close by. We've also got Storm number 8. On the run and trying to clear her name, Storm pursues the mastermind who made her a fugitive from the law. And we've got Wolverines number 7. Romance is in the air for both old and new lovers alike, and just in time for Valentine's Day. Mystique's power play is kicking into full gear as more is revealed about her plans to control her destiny, and what happens when she gets one of the very last control words, and with it the power to get everything she ever wanted. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Twilight Zone number 12, the final issue of J. Michael Straczynski's epic return to the Twilight Zone. Wall Street embezzler Trevor Richmond, who exchanged one life for another and ended up with neither. Barista Diana Westby, who blinked in the face of nuclear terror and disappeared into an eternity of fear, and private investigator Roy Chambers, who has entered the past and must make the ultimate sacrifice for another. 3 stories, 3 lives that converge in this final issue. One final choice in this final issue has the potential to save all of them or destroy them. You may think you know what happened in the first 11 issues of the series, but can you ever be really sure about anything in the Twilight Zone? From Image Comics, we've got Bitch Planet number 3. Too Big to Fail reveals the specific events leading to Zafting Penny Roll's incarceration. Robert Wilson IV joins Kelly Sue DeConnick on art duties for this flashback issue. Next we have Peter Panzerfaust number 23, On Till Morning, Part 3. Paris burns, ammunition depots are blown sky high, fueling stations burn in a raging inferno, and no German official is safe from the vengeance hand of the Lost Boys. A war is coming. And we've got Savage Dragon number 202. Stripped of his lightning power, Malcolm Dragon finds that he can no longer rely on the one thing that kept him alive. Now he faces his most fearsome challenge yet, at a time when he's at his most vulnerable. Malcolm Dragon fights the deadly damsels of the vicious circle: Raptor, Vane, Samurai, Insect, Tigress, Volcanic, Climax, and Double Page. From Valiant Entertainment, we've got Ivar Timewalker number 2. From the award-winning team that brought you Archer and Armstrong, New York Times best-selling creators Fred Van Lint and Clayton Henry continue a century-spanning race against the clock. At this very moment in Geneva, Switzerland, history is being made. 1,000 meters underground inside a large hadron collider, researcher Neela Sethi is about to discover time travel and jeopardize her life in the process, but she doesn't know that yet. 10 minutes from now, every deadbeat chrononaut, wannabe conqueror, and misguided protector of the time stream will be banging down her door. Good thing that the legendary Ivar Timewalker got there first, right? Now it's down to history's most jaded, most tempestuous time traveler to stop the worst of everything that is, was, and will be before time runs out. Next we have Unity number 15, all new arc. New York Times bestselling writer Matt Kint and Harvey Award nominee Pere Perez rebuild the world's most elite super team one member at a time. The United have left Unity decimated, a member lost, a terrible secret revealed, and the entire world turned against them. Not Harada, not Dr. Silk, not even the mighty armor hunters left the team as fractured as this. Now Unity must decide where their place is in the world and whether they will stand together or fall apart, beginning with the one teammate that might just be the most dangerous of all, the lethal intelligence operative called Ninjak. And we've got Valiant number 3 of 4. As the world teeters on the brink of a new dark age, superstar creators Jeff Lemire, Matt Kint, and Paolo Rivera recruit each of Valiant's most formidable heroes into a 10,000-year-old battle for the fate of all mankind. The entire Valiant universe faces off against the immortal enemy. Can they help Eternal Warrior succeed where he has failed so many times before? Civilization's best hope against the darkness may lie in the unlikeliest of romances. Out in trades this week, we've got Amazing Spider-Man Who Am I hardcover, the first printed edition of the story previously available in Marvel's innovative Infinite Comics format. Peter Parker has just returned from being replaced by Dr. Octopus, so now it's time to eschew Oc's more villainous tendencies and return to a life of heroic virtue, right? Maybe not, because suddenly Peter has lost his memory. He doesn't know who he is, either as Peter or as Spider-Man, and he's robbing a bank. With Peter seemingly turned to a life of crime, what does this mean for the hero once known as the Amazing Spider-Man? Gear up for a Spider-Man epic unlike any other as the recently returned wall crawler travels to a place you never thought possible, the criminal underworld. Collects Amazing Spider-Man Who Am I Infinite Comic number 1 through 12. And we have Daredevil Volume 2 West Case Scenario trade paperback, Original Sin tie-in. When Matt learns something about his past that's too terrible to accept, he seeks out his mother only to find her in more trouble than he could possibly have imagined. Prepare for this untold story of how Matt Murdock's mother became Sister Maggie as her biggest sin is finally revealed. Then Daredevil takes on a new case with the killer opposition and faces the Purple Children. One of Dee Dee's oldest foes has unleashed a force that he can't fight without being swallowed by his darkest moods and thoughts. As the Purple Children steal everything Matt Murdock has achieved for himself, is this the beginning of a new grim chapter in Daredevil's life? Plus, celebrate Daredevil's 50th anniversary with a look at the future. Collect Daredevil number 1.50 and 6 through 10. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week, but there's still plenty of others available, and I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers. You can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find links to everything in the About section at he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.